And good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner on Thursday, April the 20th. It was a beautiful sunny morning this morning, although a little bit cold. The wind's turned from the east. Morning, Paul. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. Pretty good. Plenty of news out there getting released in the mining sector, particularly London stocks.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of news. I apologize. I've been rather busy recently. In fact, I still am busy, so I haven't been able to always catch you in the morning. This morning, though, probably the lead item, I don't need to go into the details of it, but Rio Tinto had their Q1 production. And the really big thing that's come out of it is that their copper production is going to be down in 24-25 on what they had expected because of issues at the mine and within country, not because of issues particularly related to Rio, you know what I mean? But of course, that's going to get the copper bulls very excited because we all know there's crunch time coming up in about 25-26 when there just isn't going to be enough copper to go around. So that is why everybody's saying the copper price is about to go for a big run. The trouble is prices tend to go for a run when the actual crunch point gets hit, not in anticipation of it. But that's probably the main headline news that I picked up. And then, of course, Paul, you're going to have to talk through last night. We had Q1 results quarterly production results from our favorite silver company, Guanajuato Silver, and we love Guanajuato Silver. Paul, just talk us through those ones.
Yes, it's another record quarter of silver equivalent production out from Guanajuato, 938,000 silver equivalent ounces, of which 459,000 were silver itself. That's 100,000 more than last quarter, 100,000 ounces more than last quarter. And they also talked about their guidance is going to stay the same from what they had predicted, 4.6 to 4.8 million ounces silver equivalent. Already talking about productivity improvements on the mine at the Topia, which is recently reopened in things like tunneling and tails handling. And during this past quarter, they have begun the sales of retail sales of bullion to customers and investors with 10-ounce silver bars made available just last week.
Yeah, you're paying, I think, is it something like $30 an ounce for your 10-ounce silver bar, I think. So it's quite a good way of getting a high price of silver, isn't it, Paul?
Yes, it is. And you have to be fairly bullish in the long term or want to hold these kind of physical silver in the long term in order to get a good return on it.
Or just enjoy holding one, maybe. Anyway, there we go. Right, moving on. What else do you want to talk about, Paul?
Oh, really? We have to mention dual listed Neo Metals here has signed a formal offtake deal for its Barrambie iron tie vanadium project in West Australia. Chinese firm Jiaxing Titanium Materials, and it does cause a change in the production and the plant configuration for the Barrambie project to be a simpler one where it will produce DSO concentrates of iron, vanadium, and then also titanium concentrates, and primarily just by gravity separation. So it doesn't have to be quite as pure as what they had originally been configuring. They'll put out a revised PFS then for this operation in this coming May. The offtake is a 5-year term with a minimum 1 million tons of the DSO iron and 800,000 tons per annum in ilmenite concentrates. So it's definitely something simpler and ought to be more manageable on a funding basis for Neo Metals over the next 2 years, because they're trying to get both this project and the vanadium slag project in Finland toward the development final decision and funding.
Is it? I should probably know the answer to this. But I call it ferrovanadium. But is it easy to take ferrovanadium and turn it into a vanadium pentoxide and then turn it into an electrolyte? I thought ferrovanadium tended to go into the steel industry.
Ferrovanadium does go into the steel industry. That's correct.
So, I mean,
you could do it the other way, but it's a lot more expensive.
But that's the point, isn't it? And of course, they call themselves a battery materials. I mean, actually, it's not. It's a steel materials company business, really, isn't it?
Well, this one is what they're steering toward here on this particular operation, but the Finnish one is definitely for the battery sector.
I mean, the interesting thing is I've been having a lot of debates with people. This is a slight red herring, but actually, there's loads of vanadium around the place, and people can produce it for virtually nothing. Being a vanadium miner is not a good place to be. The bit that actually you want to be, and that actually basically virtually no one has got except perhaps one company in China, is a very good vanadium electrolyte manufacturer. Now, you could say it's more of a chemicals business, and it is more of a chemicals business. But if anybody interested in vanadium, forget the mining part of it. You're not going to make money out of that, to be honest. It's anybody can do that. Making good vanadium electrolyte, not many people can do that. That's where the money is, in my view. And that's what we like, money. All right, carry on, Paul. What else?
Yeah, I have to really mention this Greatland Gold release too. Hasn't gotten much attention, but this release of this essentially Hail Mary drill hole that they've put out on their Rudol project, Ramsey's target, about 20 kilometers south of the Havre joint venture there in West Australia. It has come up with a home run here in what I would call it, 18 meters at 22 grams gold, way down the hole. Beyond 900 meters in depth. In fact, it's at the limit of the drilling rig, such that they had to stop the hole in mineralization. So that hole was partly funded by exploration grant by West Australia, but it is really a significant discovery in my view. And if they manage to make an ore body or deposit out of it, it's about the same haulage distance as Havieron is to the Telfer facility. So this one would probably end up getting milled at Telfer as well.
That's pretty deep. That's nearly a kilometer under the ground. I mean, whoa, that's quite a mining operation. Your cost.
Well, that's quite a find for a single hole as well. To hit it on the first go, that's great news.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with that, but presumably your cost of your cash cost goes up quite a lot when you're mining that deep.
Well, what you're actually after is something really big, like the Havieron project itself, that can be bulk underground mined.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, just to mention real quickly that we had a fundraise for Moneta Gold of $20 million that came in primarily from high net worth investors here. That's been announced, 20 million Canadian. It was priced for 4 million was placed at $1.06, and 16 million was placed at $1.50. So they got a little bit of a premium out of that. And the whole point of that, the fundraise, is it cashes up Moneta to finish all the drilling that they otherwise need in order to take them into the PFS stage on their 12 million ounce deposit.
Nice to see people still putting up money for gold. We like gold, we like silver. I like tin as well. There you go. Just thought I'd say that. Very good, Paul. We'll speak again tomorrow, probably. Thanks.
See you then.